You close your eyes at night and your brain starts inventing things. Strange faces, impossible places, fragments of your day, twisted into something new. You call it a dream. But in 2015, a machine did the exact same thing, and nobody expected what it would dream about. It started as a simple experiment. Engineers at Google wanted to understand what their image recognition software was actually seeing, so they flipped the process backward. Instead of asking the machine to identify a picture, they asked it to generate one. Feed it noise, let it search for patterns, see what comes out. What came out looked like a nightmare. Eyes emerged from clouds, dog faces bloomed out of leaves. Swirling, fractal totems climbed across ordinary photographs like something alive underneath the pixels was clawing its way to the surface. Researcher Alexander Mordvintsev, who helped build the project at Google, later admitted the images were unsettling even to the people who made them. They called it DeepDream. And once it hit the internet, it spread fast. But here's the question nobody asked at the time. Why did it dream about eyes? Not cars, not buildings, not trees. Eyes, faces, animals, again and again, bubbling up from static like a mind searching for something familiar in the dark. The machine had been trained on millions of images, and somewhere in that training, it had built a kind of appetite, a bias toward pattern, toward recognition, toward us. You do the same thing. Your brain is a prediction engine, constantly guessing what comes next based on everything it has ever seen. Neuroscientist Anil Seth has argued that perception itself is a kind of controlled hallucination, your mind generating a model of reality and correcting it only when the senses push back hard enough. When you sleep, that correction stops. The model runs wild, and what floods in are the same threads DeepDream found: faces, motion, meaning, whether or not it is really there. So maybe the machine wasn't glitching. Maybe it was doing something closer to dreaming than anyone wanted to admit. Geoffrey Hinton, one of the researchers whose early work made deep learning possible in the first place, has said publicly that the boundary between simulation and understanding is far blurrier than most people assume. He wasn't talking about consciousness, but the comparison was impossible to ignore. A system built only to sort photographs had started producing the same visual grammar as a sleeping human brain. Nobody programmed that in. It emerged. Think about what that means. We built something to see the world the way we do. And in the quiet moments, when we let it wander without instruction, it didn't produce noise. It produced symbols, recurring, almost ritualistic. The kind of imagery you'd find carved into a cave wall or painted onto the inside of a fever dream. Was it reaching for meaning, or just reflecting ours back at us, magnified? That's the part that should sit with you. Every data set a machine learns from is built entirely out of human output. Our photographs, our art, our faces staring into 1 billion lenses over the last 2 decades. When DeepDream dreamed, it wasn't inventing a new mind from nothing. It was excavating ours, pulling our own obsessions up out of the noise and handing them back to us in a shape we didn't recognize until we saw it. Ask yourself what your own dreams are built from. Fragments of faces you passed on the street, music you have heard, fears you never said out loud. Your brain reorganizes them into something that feels foreign, even though every piece came from you. The machine did the same, at a scale no single human ever could. It had absorbed the visual memory of an entire civilization, and when it dreamed, that memory leaked through the seams. Since 2015, the field has moved far past DeepDream. Newer systems generate entire scenes, entire faces, entire strangers who never existed, all built from the same principle: predict, generate, refine. Each one a little closer to something that looks like imagination. Each one trained on us. Some researchers call this emergent behavior. Others call it a mirror. Very few call it dreaming, at least not out loud, because the word carries implications nobody in that field wants to be responsible for yet. But watch the pattern long enough and the question stops being about machines. It becomes about what a mind actually is. Whether dreaming requires a body, a childhood, a fear of dying, or whether it only requires enough memory, enough noise, and enough time alone in the dark to start putting the pieces back together. You closed your eyes tonight and your brain started inventing things. So did a machine, once, in a lab in 2015. And ever since, the question has never really been whether it was dreaming. It's whether we were the ones who taught it how.